I have played worse games. I have played games whose gameplay had nothing redeemable. I have played games that were glitchy messes. And yet, Other M might just be the game that has pissed me off more than any other. Why? Because it's Samus. Ride to Hell did not have a franchise behind it, and no one cared about Bubsy. Other M is a game starring not only one of my favorite characters, but one of the most important video game characters of all time. And this game dragged her through the mud. A symbol of the inversion of gender roles is turned into a walking stereotype. She was given a, shall we say, archetypical body type. Not to mention how the camera stares at her body, especially her butt. Also edgy, and heels. Outside of her character design is her characterization. There's the ham-fisted theme about motherhood, where every single woman in this game, including Samus, is defined by motherhood in some way. Also, a good chunk of this game's cutscenes were dedicated to showing off Samus' daddy issues. Samus' boundless courage is discarded, instead opting to literally reduce her to a 3-year-old when confronted with a nemesis she has fought on several occasions before, with said panic attack occurring for no explained reason. While the previous games were content not drawing attention to Samus' gender for the most part, this game takes every moment to remind you that Samus is indeed a woman. Samus has also been reduced to a protagonist with almost no strengths. Samus is a protagonist who, in her own game, accomplishes almost nothing. That being said though, Samus wasn't the only character screwed over in this game though. What was once an interesting and likable character becomes a condescending, emotionless, abusive jackass. The characters keep talking him up so much that it feels like the game is warping around him to make him look good. The writing in general for this game is rather bad. 2 major plot points just drop off the map with no resolution. The characters aren't interesting. The plot itself is structured so haphazardly. Most of the information in this game is presented through long exposition dumps. There are some moments that, when taken alone, are finely put together, but the moments leading up to them kind of ruin them. The gameplay is, for the most part, fine. While I still have some problems with it, it is at least competently put together. I don't think it's spectacular, but it's nowhere near atrocious. The reason people don't talk about the gameplay all that much is because there isn't much to talk about. Unlike the story, which has layers and layers to dissect. And while the gameplay is not bad, the story is too bad for me to ignore. Almost everything this game tries to do is done better by Fusion. Adam is better, the writing is better, the upgrades are better, the elevator monologues are better. So what does the future hold? It's been 6 years since the release of Other M, and the only Metroid game to be released since then doesn't even star Samus. Is there hope for Samus Aran to return to form? Honestly, I'm hopeful. While I'm not holding my breath, I do think that it's still possible for this franchise to recover. Only time will tell. In the meantime though, there is only one thing to do.
That wasn't supposed to happen!
You have got to be kidding! You gotta be kidding me!
That was unfortunate.
Thankfully, I already don't remember this.